to another edition of your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show.
Question is, did she subscribe?
Right.
I know she's down on YouTube.
Representing from the Boondocks. What up, Jobo?
Hello, what's up? Happy Wednesday.
What up? She repping her Hey Sister Soldier look right now. Everybody give it up for Bunny. What's happening, Bunny?
What up? Happy hump day.
T-Bone, what's going on, brother?
I'm back, and I don't know about better than ever, but I'm back.
What is going on, party people? It is your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smooth. I think that may be on a highlight reel tape. And we're glad that you are tuning in live along with the millions and millions of the platform sports talk show fans on once again your Wednesday night Sports Delight.
Really?
Or really?
Brinks truck backing up in his driveway with
There you go.
97 million. There you go.
All you hear is this.
Probably somebody who's doing something to give back and letting the next generation.
Say straight.
Have me syrup on here.
Come on now, don't hit me too up. You know I get emotional.
But people watching around the world, no pressure. And we already have our favorite fan, Ms. Williams, saying, welcome, Brandon.
Well, how are you? Hi, Ms. Williams.
A guy who tried to give it his all and put on for the city, to be truthful. Because like I said, I'm St. Louis die hard.
The views of Smooth does not reflect the platform sports talk show or its sponsors.
Good evening. It's your girl Miracle. Welcome to the Platform Sports Talk Show. Make sure. Well, I hope you have happy holidays. Hope you're having a good day or evening. Make sure if you're watching, make sure you follow us on the Platform Sports Talk Show on Facebook. Platform Sports, the Platform Sports Talk Show. You can follow us on X at 314 Sport Talk, and make sure you subscribe. That's my favorite thing to do. On YouTube, the Platform Sports Talk Show. Make sure you hit that bell anytime we go live. I'm sorry. When we go live, you'll always be notified. You can also email us at platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com, and you can watch or follow us on Instagram at Platform Sports Talk. And you can even watch and you can even listen to our you can even listen on Hot 365 Radio, where it's always hot. And Ladies Night is every first Wednesday of the month, and the Man Cave is every last Wednesday of the month. So I hope you're having a great holiday. We can't wait to see your comment. And if you want to comment, you should be on Facebook or YouTube. So yeah, if you want to comment, you should either be on Facebook or YouTube, so your comment will be shown on the screen, like right in the corner, like over there, right where you see my name. But yeah, that's where you can find your comment. So anyway, while we're here, if you want to, you can share some of your favorite sports or your favorite sports team. Just put your comment right here, and it'll be fine. We can sometimes share.
Wait a minute. Who was that taking over the show? Hold on. Baby girl is taking over the Platform Sports Talk Show. Isn't she an amazing host? Everyone, leave the comments right now. Baby girl is holding things down. I am so proud of her. She had a quick rehearsal and she just took over my spot. So now I can go ahead and fall back and let her just host the Platform Sports Talk Show. How you feel about that?
I feel really good.
Feel really good. You look good. Thank you for holding me down. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
And as you said before, happy holidays to you all. Get them comments, get them likes, get them shares going right now, because we have a great show in store for each and every one of y'all. So let's get the numbers up. Let's go. As you can see, this show is going to be a little bit different tonight. Who knows what's going to be on the show? Who's going to say what? And I look forward to it. We don't have the norm like we used to. My road dog, Jobo, she's taking care of things for the holidays with the family, I understand. And a lot of crew is also busy getting ready for Christmas and everything. So I had to go ahead and switch some things up, and she wanted to be on the show. And once again, she is doing amazing. So, baby girl, real quick, why don't you tell everyone what are some exciting things you like about Christmas?
So some exciting things I like about Christmas is that you get to make cookies for Santa. You can make cookies for yourself, or you can maybe have some Christmas movie night that we're going to on Thursday. And then I'm maybe gonna make the hot chocolate packet out.
Yep. Okay. Do you have any certain present that you're looking forward to, or any gifts from Santa?
I don't know yet. I'm still thinking. But the thing I really want is some roller skate.
Oh, you can skate?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. Got to check that out. Let me see how good you are. Let me see. Got some comments going. Miss Dub, our favorite fan, says, "Hi, Fred. Hi, Miracle."
Hi. Hope you're having an amazing day. Or
There you
evening.
go. I'm gonna just fall back and have her to take over, y'all, because she got it now. She in her zone. She is in her zone. Hope all is well to you, Miss Dub. Happy holidays. Hope Ed come in town, or of course, get in contact with him and see how things are going with him. So outside of that, baby girl, I know this is a sports talk show. So if you could think of like one athlete that just comes to your mind that you like a whole lot, who is it?
From any sport?
Any sport, any athlete that you can think of.
My favorite from basketball is LeBron James.
Hey, and she didn't get told what to say. Let's go. She like LeBron James. We're all the LeBron James haters. Let's see. Miss Dub says she's a very articulate young lady. Oh, what'd you say?
Thank you.
There we go. There we go. Keep them likes, get them shares going. Also, for the first time, we are now on Instagram Live. So you can check us out at the platform Sports Talk Show on Instagram. And boom, we in there. Your uncle Alan said boo. Miss Dub says, "I'm with you, girl." LBJ, LeBron, Allen, who you rolling with, man? Who your guy? Let me know. Let's go. Let's talk about it. But yeah, man. But so like I said, so you talked about LeBron. Is there anyone else that come to mind, or just LeBron?
I don't know yet. Let's probably keep. I'm gonna keep thinking.
That's all good. So once again, she said LeBron. That's good enough for me. Once again, we are now streaming live on Instagram at Platform Sports Talk. You can do your thing, view us, share it with other people as well. Now the thing is, if you leave a comment on Instagram, I can't pull it up on our stream where it could be shown on the screen. I do have a screen up showing Instagram, so maybe I'll read some stuff off of there. But let everyone know they have so many different ways to watch our show, as Baby Girl explained earlier, on Facebook, on the X, on YouTube, and now on Instagram as well. Also, you can go to twitch.tv/hot365radio. So there's just no way that you can just not see us for some reason at all. Let's see. Alan says he's a football man. I respect that. I respect that. So, Alan, who you rolling with? Your favorite football team and favorite player? It can just be current player, not all time, but current player. Let us know in the chat. I'll make sure to pull everything up. So, what else is going on, baby girl? I know that you and I and Lovey, the wifey, shouts out to the wifey, we all went to the Garden Globe at the Missouri Botanical Gardens last night. I know you was pretty cold, but outside of that, how was your experience?
It was fun.
Okay, what else? It was fun. What all you see there?
We were able to make hot chocolate. We saw a lot of glowing light. We were even able to drink some hot cocoa. Right, and her and the wifey did an amazing job doing a promo for the show. So, shouts out to them. I do want to also, I said earlier that the show gonna be different tonight, but I do want to say happy holidays to my Sports Talk Show fam. Once again, a lot of them are getting busy for the upcoming weekend and for Christmas. So much love to them. Next week is going to be part 2 of the Super Show. Y'all saw what we did a few weeks ago when we had the one, the only guy, Tori, in the place to be. It was an amazing show. It was right here in the TNT, the Saunders Experience. There we go. It was right here. But yeah, we had a wonderful time. Guy Tori enjoyed some chicken and some drinks and some laughs. And we just had a wonderful time with it. So definitely tune in next week for part 2 of the Super Show. And Alan says LA Rams, and he's a Cooper Cup fan. All right. I ain't mad at you. You know, you got some people who
were FTL Rams fans, and then when they went to LA, it was like, no, I'm done. It's over. I do have to say that now my love for the Rams has kind of gone away because only like Aaron Donald's the only one who played for the Rams while in the FTL, and of course things just changed. So it's like I don't have that same emotional tie as I used to. Of course, I'm still supportive if they go far. I'm gonna support them, but I don't have that emotional attachment as I used to. But it's all good. I know the wifey last year when they were like the best team in all of football, she was rolling with the Chiefs. And now she's like, I'm about to switch teams because they ain't playing so good right now. So whoever is the hottest team going to the playoffs, that's who my wife is going to be supporting. But let me know in the comments, y'all. Don't be shy. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, leave the comments. If you're on Instagram, I'll go switch over to Instagram and see if you got any comments over there. And of course on the X as well. So there's no reason to not let your voice be heard, or what I mean. But once again, going back, no straight emotional tie to any football team right now. I just want to enjoy some great football games. Baby girl, what sport you like the most?
I like my favorite football or my favorite.
Okay, sounds out to St. Louis. They had a great season. They had the best record in the West. Of course, they lost in the first round of the playoffs, but who would have thought that they'd be making it this far in regards to going to the playoffs in the very first year? So that's super dope. You did play a little bit of soccer last year. How did you enjoy that experience?
It looks pretty fun.
Pretty fun. Let's see. The wifey says, hey, family, my favorite is Steph Curry. Steph Curry with the shot.
I was thinking about that was my second favorite basketball player.
Well, there you go. I was waiting till she said that because, Lovey, she loves to follow Lovey.
No, I was thinking about it, but then I was like, I should think about something else. But then I remembered I actually like that one.
Let's see. Alan says, well, I see you in the Super Bowl, LA. Okay. Wifey, I know you're watching. Who you rolling with right now in football? Stay tuned for this answer, y'all. I want to see what she's gonna say. Like I said, the Chiefs ain't looking too good right now, but we're gonna see what's happening. Everyone else, leave them comments later on throughout the show. Look forward to having Craig Black. He out there in DC, so they're gonna talk it up, some DC sports, and then we'll have our special guest panelist. He's been on the show 2 times prior, and he's just an amazing guy doing this thing in Chicago right now. Mr. Austin Huff, he'll be on around 7:30. So we have another jam-packed show, another fun show in store, and I'm just looking forward to it, man. And enjoying the holidays. And this will be my last time, on the show in regards to on screen for the rest of the year, because of course I'll be producing the show next week, and that's it. Let's see. Wifey says, I was going for the Eagles, but still a toss-up. Yeah, the Eagles, they were looking good. The last, prior to the last 3 weeks of the season, of the last 3 weeks of the year so far, they've been doing good, but now they hit a snag and lost 3 in a row. So we don't know what's going to happen with that team going to the playoffs, but we shall see. It's all about just getting hot and then taking it all the way. Just ask the Bengals. They know about that as well. But yeah, so once again, a lot of sports to talk about. Looking forward to it. Oh, the wifey is now on Instagram too. She everywhere. She was downstairs next to us. Now she on YouTube chatting. Now she on Instagram. She just Miss Dub. She's taking over your favorite fan spot. I should have saved it and had it for the show tonight. But Miss Dub, she wanted me to show you that on Facebook, she is the top fan on the Platform Sports Talk Show page. So what are you going to do about that, Miss Dub? Challenge. Say challenge. Challenge. There we go. So we'll see what's up with that. But once again, if this is your first time watching the Platform Sports Talk Show, Thank you all very much. Get them likes, get them shares going. Let's go crazy like LeBron. Let's go crazy with it. We want to get as many people tuned in because this is a show that we want to get y'all opinions put on the show. That's why it's called the platform. We're going to give y'all a platform to be authentic, be real in regards to your love of sports. What was that? A yawn? I didn't know what was that. Like she was a fish or a duck or what? But yes,
sorry.
get them likes, get them shares going, get as many people that you know who are true sports fans to just tune into the show and have a good time discussing sports. We have a lot to discuss, whether it's locally or around the world. You know, we got it. Anything you need, we got it right here on the Platform Sports Talk Show. How you enjoying being a host?
It's fine.
It's fine.
Mm.
Funny. Besides doing this.
That was funny.
Yeah. But no, she's just doing a great job and she came a long way, y'all. She still be shy in certain points, you know, in public and she'll know someone, she may be like, yeah, thank you. But then when she get comfortable, you can't even stop her. It's like a tornado, just keep on going, just keep on spinning. But she's a great person, and she's back from Tyler, Texas, for the next week and a half now. You see the wife of your Instagram saying y'all talking about coach got fired. Okay. So she want to talk about the women's basketball coach. I think she's a high school coach, and I don't know her name, but I can pull it up and find out. But if y'all didn't know, there was a recent high school basketball coach, a woman, who was fired from her job because of how she dressed. So leave in the comment for those watching, what are your thoughts in regards to that? It's crazy how in this time, in this world, how we're still putting women in, or how sports in general are still putting women in a box, and it's not right, it's not fair. And this was crazy. Their team is like 18-4. So they're like doing very good, but because of her outfits and whatnot, it's a problem. And the school told her it's not a fashion show. So it's just pretty crazy. Wifey says ridiculous. Yes, it is. Definitely is. And Miss Dub, that was a disgrace. No one ever fired a male coach for how he dressed. Exactly. You know, it's the double standard. You know, you see there's plenty of nice groomed coaches, especially back in the day, you know, the Showtime Lakers. Pat Riley had the slick back hairstyle with the suit on and everything again. You had other, you know, coaches out there who was doing their thing dressed to the nines. And like you said, Miss Dub, they wasn't getting criticized. And they were successful. Let's see, Miss Dub said she looks classy, and that's a problem. Right. And the wifey says Brianna O'Connor is her name. So yeah, that's crazy. Like I said, the focus should be on the job at hand, on the court, and her being a positive factor, making an impact for that team. And it looked like she was doing that. But because of the school and their ways and their mindset, their thought process, now she's out of a job. But I have a feeling that she'll get picked up very soon by another school that will appreciate her for what she brings to the team, and not what she brings in regards to her clothes. So we shall see. But what else do y'all want to talk about before we have Craig Black come in soon and Austin Huff? Let me know in the comments, whatever it is. Miss Dub, I know you've been watching the NBA. What are your thoughts in regards to the season? You know what? I didn't save it, but we talked about this last week, Miss Dub. But the Lakers, of course, we know that they won the in-season tournament last week, and talks were they were going to celebrate by having the banner. And you know what? We're gonna have fun right here on this stream here. I'm gonna go ahead and do it this way. Normally I would have had it saved up and ready to go, but we're gonna do it like this because this is what happened at the Lakers game this past, I believe it was Tuesday. But let's share the screen. Let y'all see what I'm seeing. And let's go. There we go. What are y'all thoughts? The Los Angeles Lakers decided to raise an actual banner to honor the inaugural NBA in-season tournament championship. Now, the wifey knows, and people who follow this show, that we've been going on for 6 years strong, just so y'all know, consistently every Wednesday, put that in. But I love the Lakers. And I was like that. I was last week. You can ask my wifey. We was at a friend's house for ugly sweater night. Watched the game, and I'm all into it like it's the NBA Finals. So I'm glad they won, right? I'm glad they won. But do y'all feel it was a little bit too much that the Lakers would now have an NBA in-season banner hung up in the rafters next to other championships? How do y'all feel about that? Let's say, wifey, if it was your team, the Warriors, and they did the same thing, how would you feel about that? Would you be like, hey, well, it's my team, so it is what it is? Or would you feel like it's too much? Because to me, I felt like that was a little bit too much. Yeah, have the trophy, celebrate like y'all did in the locker room, the whole nine. But to have a banner sitting now, no matter what, it's going to be there forever, pretty much, more than likely. They have a championship banner from the NBA in-season tournament. What are y'all thoughts in regards to that? And Ms. Dub says, take your championships where you can get them. I understand. Not on TV. You got to keep your hand down. They got to see all that beauty. But yeah, so like I said, once again, to me, I feel like it was too much. For those on the comments, let me know what y'all thoughts are. Wifey says it's too much, but they're not making the official final. Oh, the shade. She just mad because the Warriors got ousted by my Lakers last year. But it's all good, though. Understand, it's all good. But yeah, once again, let me know in the comments. What are y'all thoughts? Should any team raise a championship banner in the rafters if you win a NBA in-season tournament? Like I said, to me, a little bit too much, but it is what it is. They done it. Unfortunately, though, the Lakers haven't won a game since the NBA in-season tournament. They lost 3 in a row. So we'll see. It's still early in the season. I think they'll get it together. They may have to make a move or so, but we'll find out. What kind of dance you doing? This. You learned that in the dance class? Uncle Alice says it's too much. They probably be taking it down. The only way they do that is if it's a huge outcry from the Laker fans themselves or from people like Magic Johnson or Kareem that would say, you know what, Genie Bus, that's not who we are. Take that down. That's the only way that I can see the Lakers taking that banner down is if it's someone high powered like those guys to say, you know what, no. We about championships, but it's about the championship, not a championship in December. But let me know. And we all know and love Kobe Bryant. Man, shoot, the wifey, she's on Facebook now. I'm telling you, she everywhere, y'all. She is everywhere. But yeah, like I said, Kobe Bryant, for those who know Kobe, how do you think he would feel about that? He would be like, I recall years back when the Lakers finally won the game after a long losing streak, and they were celebrating like they won the NBA Finals. And Kobe Bryant looked at them guys while he was on a talk show because he didn't know about the video, but he looked at them like, I got to deal with these guys. So I know Richard Sherman said on Undisputed, Kobe is probably rolling around in his grave right now because of how they just did the championship banner. But like I said before, or like Ms. Dub says, take a championships where you can get them. It is LA. It is the city of champions. So you celebrate any and all championships, right? Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, we asked you a couple days ago, baby girl, where did you want to go for a family vacation next summer? And what did you say?
California.
Look at that. Yeah, she wants to see LeBron James now. In the finals. Let's go. Let's get it. But yeah, baby girl, much for an awesome job show.
You're welcome.
And Miss Dub says NBA Saturday, Heat buzzer beater by Jimmy. Yes, that was an incredible shot. And I like how he was just so cool with it. Like, yeah, you did this. I did this. This is what I'm all about. Yeah, I got it. So shouts out to him. And I do have the highlight that I'm gonna show later on. So stay tuned. It'll be injury related. We come back from last night, who've been gone for a while. So a teaser. So stay tuned. But once again, baby girl, thank you very much. High five. I know you and Ludwig got to make some moves, so let me go ahead and mute this. No, tell everybody you say bye and happy holidays.
Bye. Happy holidays.
There we go. Great job. Let me take this from you. There we go. And you can take the headphones off, and I got it. You good to go. You did an incredible job. She's about to break my stuff, y'all. She's about to break my stuff. All right, let's transition over. Take this from you. Boom. All right. I'll see you later. Gotcha. Can you put this behind the board for me? There we go. All right, y'all. So now I gotta make some updates to the screen. Let me do this real quick. Once again, you are listening, you are watching the Platform Sports Talk Show. I am your boy Smooth. This show is going to be definitely different, as you can see. But we're going to still do our thing and talk some sports. So what else is going on, y'all, in the world of sports? We're going to have that football talk in a minute. Once again, Career Black will be live from D.C., talking about some D.C. sports and some football. And, of course, once again, we'll have our special guest live from Chicago, Mr. Austin Huff, will be on the show. Jam-packed. Shouts out once again to my crew. They out there getting ready for the holidays. Also, shouts out to Coach Brittany Willis. Her Clayton girls basketball team are doing amazing right now. I think they only have maybe 1 or 2 losses in the season. I think they have maybe about 5 or 6 wins. So they've been doing good. Going back to the Guy Tour event, ran into, Bunny came through, Sadal came through, Michelle came through, and of course the White B9, and it was a great time. Just good to have the Sports Talk Show fam come together and, live it up, do our thing. But once again, let's get as many people tuned in, get them likes, get them shares going, because this show is going to be, once again, another amazing show. Once again, this will be my last show in person as I get ready to produce for next week for the Super Show. As the crew will be here and the see again, and another fun time. It's going down. Let me see. Do I have any comments on Instagram yet? Besides the wifey, not yet. But keep it going. Let everybody know that we everywhere on social media, as you see on your screen now. As baby girl brought up, give us a follow on the Platform Sports Talk Show on Facebook, on the X at 314 Sports Talk. You can go on YouTube, subscribe, click on that bell, because anytime we go live, just like tonight, in the past previous years of shows for over 6 years now,
just subscribe and click on that bell because anytime they go live, you will be notified. If y'all know someone that would be an incredible, amazing guest that has a story to tell, have them email us at platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com. On Insta, we are live now, y'all. We are officially live on Instagram for the very first time at Platform Sports Talk. And we also, when the show over, it will be archived on Roku. So any Roku device you have, just add us at the channel. Just put in the Platform Sports Talk Show. You will see our beautiful logo, and boom, you're good to go. And you can also listen to us. So for some reason you can't see us right now, if you're driving around, you want to be safe, you can go to hot365radio.com or go to Hot365 Radio, whether you have Android or you have iOS. Download the app, listen to us in crystal clear and our sexy voices, and it'll just be amazing. It's an amazing experience. So check us out. And also on Hot365, on twitch.tv/Hot365 Radio as well. Once again, ladies' night every first Wednesday of the month, and the Man Cave is every last Wednesday of the month. Of course, that changes this month. It's the very last month of the year, which means the Super Show. We had it 2 weeks ago. We got Tori, and next week we back for part 2. And now it's time to have some fun. My guy is ready. He's logged in. He got the setup. I'm loving the backdrop. But this man here has been once again on the show. Previous times, he is not a stranger. He's fam of the Platform Sports Talk Show. He is the co-host of US 99's 99.5 FM WUSN Morning Show with Melissa in Austin. In Chicago, he is also the founder of Cork Bats. Follow them on Twitter if you haven't already, and on Facebook and on Instagram. Cork Bats, KORKEDBATS. It is a comedic sports blog that doesn't take itself or anything too seriously. They have amazing content, y'all. Amazing content. I love it. You're gonna find out, if you don't know, who his favorite NFL player is. But he's back on the show. And I had to do it because normally when he's on the show, he has his cap to the back. So I got mine to the back right now. And he is back on the Platform Sports Talk Show. Austin Huff. Austin, what's up, brother?
I literally just got my headphones working in the nick of time. Like the first words I heard you say was, let's go to Austin. And I honestly felt like an Indiana Jones grabbing his hat out of a closing door type situation. Smoooth, how are you, man?
And I am doing well. And I gotta say thank you for joining the show last minute, man. I was saying before that my crew, they pretty much getting ready for the holidays for Christmas. So they have family things. So I'm like, man, I gotta be creative and think about something. I'm like, I may know a guy. So you came through, man. I appreciate you.
Of course, man. Of course. Always. You know how I feel about you and the work that you do. And I know you grind your ass off, and I respect the hell out of it. And so, you know, when you come calling, if I can make it work, which I fortunately was able to tonight for a little bit, I am always happy to do so, man. You do great work. I'm actually going to be in St. Louis over the holidays. We are visiting my wife's family who is in St. Louis. So I'm going to be down there in the gateway to the West.
Well, let me know. Holler at me if you got to show in person. Let me know before you leave.
I will for sure.
And shouts out to one of my panelists from the Platform Sports Talk Show, my road dog, Joe Bo. She said just stopping by, but listen here and there. Good thing to hear that Tyler Glasnow himself did say that the Cardinals were one of the teams that was in on him. So yes, that is good that the Cardinals were trying to get him.
Man,
even though now went to the Dodgers, which no surprise.
Yeah.
But you know, it's all good. But good to see you, Joe, and happy holidays to you. And I'll see you hopefully next week for the Super Show Part 2.
Boom. Closing out the year right. Smoooth, how do you feel about the Cardinals, man? Because it's like I feel like I don't know. like I'm not a Cardinals fan, but if I was, I would be insanely frustrated with John Mozeliak and how little
Exactly.
he does every year and how easily he gets away with doing very little. It's like the guy in the office. It's honestly, it's like I feel like you need to get the Bobs from Office Space and bring him in and be like, what exactly do you do here? Because it's certainly not signing outside of a couple of elderly like pitchers. Like it's really not. It hasn't done much of anything this year, and it's like you look at the amount of money every team has spent in free agency this year, and you see the Cardinals, 99 million. You're like, okay, good. Well, what was that on? That was over what, 3 or 4 different guys? Like, it's just the Cardinals have so much more money than they spend.
Right. And 2 of those guys are over like 35 years old. So it's like you didn't,
Yeah.
You brought in guys who can fill innings. That's what they wanted to do. But
right.
You still haven't brought in, no shade to Sonny Gray, but you still haven't brought in that, okay, when this guy comes up, we got the victory.
Right. Sonny Gray is great, but he's not the like an ace, which I think is what the Cardinals are planning for him to be. And it's like Sonny Gray is a great supplement, but to make him like the anchor point for your rotation, I don't know. To me, it's I think the Cardinals are getting away with highway robbery. The Cardinals are like that friend that like has his parents' inheritance and they like is super wealthy, but then like when you go on vacations with him, he's like, "Hey man, can you spot me a few bucks? Can you grab me a beer?" And you're like, "What do you mean? What do you like? You're richer than I am. Like, what are you doing? Like, playing the penny slots when we're at the casino, like come to the roulette table, come to the blackjack table and spend a little bit of dough." I can't believe it for Cardinals fans. I can't believe it for the Cardinals. And we're now 12 plus years since 2011. And I feel like they're still riding. The Cardinals today remind me of what the Tennessee Titans were like in the early inception of their franchise when they had that success and then they rode the coattails of that success for years and they won. They were just constantly like pointing back to, hey, remember the Music City Miracle? Remember how awesome that was? And then it was like 10 years later and they still hadn't even sniffed the Super Bowl. And I feel like the Cardinals are in that way too of like, hey, remember David Freese? How awesome was that? And it was awesome, but we're now 12 years old later now. Like if a kid was born the night the Cardinals won the World Series in 2011, that kid is almost a teenager now. And that's insane.
So you asked me earlier about how it feels in St. Louis, and you're absolutely correct. The fans are frustrated. But here's the thing. It's not just about Mozeliak. It's who hires him. They're tired of ownership because they feel that because they are the Cardinals and they're a team that traditionally have won in the past, as you brought it before, it just automatically means that we're going to be going to the playoffs every year now. And like you said before, like the Titans, you had the success for a while and you kept the same strategy going every year. The problem is it's not 2011 no more.
Right. Times change. And
this organization has been slow in knowing how to make adjustments in regards to how it is to approach free agency, how it is to approach the modern style of the game now. Bottom line, this organization is behind. And that's why you're seeing teams like the Braves step up and now take over what they're doing.
Right.
Of course, the Dodgers is going to be the Dodgers. But looking at the Astros and what they done, looking at the Rays and even the Rangers won the World Series. The Diamondbacks, they won 86 games, but look what they still did with their roster. Look at what the 50s have been doing. So it's like the Cardinals are just behind a little bit in regards to catching up to how to get these star players. And I brought this up a while back on our show, but if you are a top tier player like a Bryce Harper kind of guy or a Mike Trout and you're a free agent, what can St. Louis do to really attract you to be a part of the Cardinals?
That's a great point.
You know, like what can you do? What can they do to say we are a better destination than going to LA or going to Atlanta?
Right. You're gonna get the Paul Goldschmidts and even really the Nolan Arenados, but that's because those guys they're kind of quiet, low key guys, and they probably enjoy that. But if you're gonna go up against a Los Angeles Dodgers, up until this year, San Diego Padres, if you're gonna go up against even like a Cubs lately, like you're like just looking at the recent track record, you're gonna be like, okay, if I come to St. Louis, what are you gonna do to help build not just a winning product, but a championship level product? So why am I gonna choose St. Louis? Why am I gonna go to the Cardinals, the birds on the bat, when I could go to even recently like Miami? Miami has invested more into trying to make a run for it, trying to go for it than the Cardinals have, and it's just frustrating. They're just like, times are changing, and it's like St. Louis is not like recognizing that. And I would be livid. I mean, you think about it. Think about how much money they're raking in. Like, and you could say, oh, St. Louis, it's what, 23 biggest market in the country. It's, you could cry small market, but not the Cardinals. The Cardinals have a national appeal. They have a national draw. People will go out of their way to go to St. Louis just for baseball. You can't say that about, any other market really. Like that's honestly, it's probably the biggest tourism draw that St. Louis has right now. That and the Arch. And it's so to get people like to have that power and that brand, and to not tap into it. Like, think about it. Every time you go to Ballpark Village, if you go there for New Year's Eve, if you watch the ball drop in New Year's Eve, every dollar you spend on a drink there, for your tickets there, that's all going back to the Cardinals. The Cardinals own that, like it. And for them to like make as much money as they do nationally, and that's not even including all the merch that they sell nationwide. Think about how many St. Louis caps are sold all across the country, because there are Cardinals fans all across the country. How they still cry poor is just, it's beyond me. And frankly, if I was a Cardinal fan, I would be sick to my stomach. And you saw a little bit of that, like here in Chicago, with the Cubs. They win in 2016, and 2017 they were decent but fell short, and then really kind of the wheels fell off in 2018, and they start to, okay, we're gonna sell the farm basically. And or I guess a couple years after 2018, but in 2021, I guess, was when they sold the farm, sold all of their parts. Javi Baez, Chris Bryant, the entire core of that 2016 team was gone, and it looked like, oh great, the Cubs are going to enter another decade of futility. But then the very next year, I think they realized, like, oh hey, what we had in 2016 was special, and we want to capture that. And while Wrigley will always draw butts and seats just because it's a national landmark, and people, when you're in Chicago, you got to hit up Wrigley. Like it's kind of like with Busch in St. Louis. People will go regardless. But I think the Cubs realized, but when we win, and when we make an October run, and when we make a deep run in October, that gets so much more excitement, brings in so many more dollars, and helps us out along the way. But like St. Louis, like the Cardinals, the Cubs own a lot of Wrigleyville. They own the land around Wrigleyville. They make money regardless of whether the Cubs are good or not. But they realize, oh, when the Cubs are better, we can make more money. And that's the bottom line in this entire game. And then so last year you saw they went out and they signed Dansby Swanson. They made him like an anchor to build a new franchise around. Obviously, they got rid of Wilson Contreras to St. Louis, so they kind of needed that new core guy. Bring in a Dansby Swanson, who did very well for his first season, and then they go out and they get Cody Bellinger on a 1-year prove it deal, and he certainly did prove it.
Oh my God, he had a year.
Yeah. And then it's like, and now it's like, I mean, here we are in free agency. They haven't spent $1 now, and I think Cubs fans are getting a little antsy about it. But I do feel like they still have some big swings left in them. I think they're going to re-sign a Bellinger. Hopefully, they need to. Or there's still a few more moves that, like, they obviously need to make. But and I don't know if other Cubs fans feel this way. Not that I am a Cubs fan, but I feel confident that they're going to do something else because they got a little taste of it, and they came close to making the postseason last year, but not good enough.
But to add on, you forgot one big move, and that's this.
Yeah,
hiring Craig Collins.
Yeah,
that was a huge move, and that shows how the organization is being proactive and not reactive like what the Cardinals have been doing.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest issues with the Cardinals last year to me was how they didn't adjust to the rule changes from last year, meaning now you don't have the shift as much and the pitch clock and stuff like that.
Yeah, bigger bases. Yeah.
And Mozeliak even said during spring training last year, he was, well, I feel that my team don't have to make any adjustments. Because stuff like that. And it's like, it's plain to see that the team was affected because your whole pitching style is based off of pitching on contact, meaning that you have to have guys in the right position to catch the ball. But the problem is you're limited because you can't have a second baseman going to the third base side no more. Or you can't have a third baseman playing in between second and first in right field. So the team got the pitching got demoralized. Miles Michaelis was like, what's going on? I'm getting hit everywhere. Like I went to the home opener, and I think it was Wainwright. He was pitching, and the Toronto Blue Jays just lit him up.
Right, I remember that. Yeah.
Lit him up. So it's just stuff like that. And
there's like a nose stuck up in the air type of feel with the Cardinals organization where it's like, first of all, we know what we're doing, and just everyone relax, like it's gonna be fine. And for many years, the Cardinals were able to do that because they would back it up on the field. And for many years, like especially when it came to like pitching, that when they had Dave Duncan as their pitching coach, that was like the height of Cardinals baseball, to where like they would bring in like a Brad Penny on a 1-year deal, a washed Brad Penny. And suddenly he would find new life with the Cardinals. And then like lately it's like it feels like they're still trying to do that. They're bringing in a Lance Lynn who got lit up in October, like who was very bad the second half of all last season. And and like the Dodgers do that too. Like the Dodgers will bring in these like washed guys that nobody wants, but the Dodgers do what the Cardinals used to do, and the Dodgers they'll flip those guys and make them great, and they'll squeeze every last bit of juice out of them. And the Cardinals used to be that. They used to be the team that would like revive guys, and I think Dave Duncan played a large part in that. But now Dave Duncan's been gone for years now, and they're still operating business as usual like that, and they're not seeing success. Like there was no reason why Adam Wainwright in his final season last year should have been the ace of that rotation.
No way. No,
like it's just I get secondhand frustration from Cardinals fans just based off of what they do.
My last thing I want to say about the Cardinals before we move on, the one of the frustrations of this team, also in regards to the organization, it's like come on, you got to get it. But I brought up earlier in regards to just being reactive. Oh my God, it just kind of like left my brain for a second, because it is so many things that you're frustrated on, because pretty much you have a fan saying this. Oh, come on!
Right?
You know,
Yeah.
it-
I just got like PTSD to being at Bush in the summertime, you know?
oh man. But no, it's just being behind the times, man. Ownership not being. Oh, here's what it was. John Mozeliak was known for being a shrewd GM, right? He'll make those moves where he'd be like, "How he do that?"
Yeah.
And then the guy stays for 2-5 more years because
Right.
you got. That was what the Cardinals, especially Mozeliak early on during his tenure, he was known for was what we got Carlos Beltran.
Yeah.
Oh my God, stuff like that. It's like we haven't had that feeling in a long time. And also the last thing, excuse me, is when was the last time we have came into a season of saying, you know what, we got a World Series contender right here.
Yeah, right. Right.
That we have came into that mindset.
And they've been fortunate enough to be able to like go into season saying we could win the NL Central. But
right.
The main reason for that is not because of the Cardinals. It's because the NL Central has been so bad. Like honestly, when you say I'm winning the NL Central, you're really competing against one, maybe two teams, like the Brewers and then maybe sometimes the Cubs. The Reds haven't been anything for years. The the Pirates are the freaking Pirates. So like to say like you're like, oh hey, we're NL Central champs. That's like saying, you're the tallest short guy in the room, basically. And it's, I don't know. I would be very frustrated. Honestly, the only deals John Mozeliak is finding these days are in the LL Bean catalog. Outside of that, it's not a whole lot.
Oh man! Once again, this is the Platform Sports Talk Show. I'm your boy Smooth, and I have special guests. Well, you know what? He's fam now. Austin Huff, out there in Chi-Town right now. So let's go ahead and change it over to your alma mater. So for those who don't know, you went to
yeah, right there. MIZZOU. Smooth. Since the last time we've talked, well, I just had my second daughter, but my first daughter, it just turned 2 years old. And I got her to, like, I taught her how to, whenever she sees the Mizzou Tiger logo anywhere, she'll go, MIZZOU. And I think it's my proudest moment as a dad.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. And my wife, shouts out to her. She also went to Mizzou. So we went to a game. It was my first time actually going to a Mizzou game this past season when they played against who they play? South Carolina.
Oh, okay. Good one.
Destroyed. It was my first time going to a game, and I got footage on my page, but it's amazing. It was a great atmosphere. It was a sellout crowd, like all the games from like their second game of the season in Faroe Field were all sellouts. It was amazing. And, just from you seeing it from the outside, what are your thoughts in regards to the resurgence and maybe a new era in regards to MIZZOU?
This year, man, has been it was like a wild ride. I did not expect it, honestly. Look, I always tell myself going into every Mizzou season, don't get your expectations too high. Don't set them too high, because when I do, they get let down. And it's like that with all my sports teams, not just Mizzou. But and I'll always be like, yeah, maybe 5-6 wins. Hopefully they get bowl eligible this year. And then right before kickoff of the opening week, I'm like, we could win the SEC East, like that. I somehow talked myself into it. And luckily this year I didn't do that. I didn't have any expectations, went into the year, and then they beat K-State on that 61-yard field goal, SEC record. And I was like, okay, that was pretty dope. But, look, they got a tough slate ahead, and, and then they only lose LSU and Georgia. And honestly, those were two very winnable games, even those. And I'm like, what? Like, Drink has this team so far ahead of schedule. It's exciting. Drink is a goofy dude, but he's got like dad like dad jokes, he is everyone's dad, where it's like, look, we can make fun of our dad, but don't you dare try and make fun of our dad. Okay. Because he is our dad and we freaking love him to death. And he looks out for us. He provides a wonderful roof over our home. And then he goes out. Not only does he put together a 10-win season and absolutely dominates Arkansas in the final game of the season, which was awesome, but then he goes out and he puts together a terrific signing day today. He put together an amazing class. He pulls like 2 or 3 guys out of the state of Arkansas, gets them to flip from the Hogs, and then puts up billboards all across the state, of those guys, because like now with NIL deals, you can put the image and likeness on these billboards. So he puts these guys up on billboards in their hometowns. You don't think that's gonna, like, Arkansas kids are gonna see that and be like, man, maybe I should go north of the border and go to Mizzou because they're going to put my face on a freaking billboard all across town. Drink is doing some great things right now. And where he has this team, he's got Oklahoma linemen transferring from Oklahoma. Guys are saying, no, I'm done here in Norman. I'm going to go to Columbia. And it does help the state of Missouri. I don't know I'm sure Eli had some sort of hand in this somehow, but when all this NIL stuff was coming around, the fact that the state of Missouri passed a law where you can start paying players after they commit, you can start paying them in high school after they make their commitment. That has helped so much with locking the borders, which is something that no coach has been able to do. Even Gary Pinkel back in the day had trouble keeping the St. Louis guys in Missouri, keeping the Kansas City guys in Missouri. And Drink has been able to get the talent in the Show Me State to come to Columbia. And it's been awesome. And I think a large part of that is because, hey, you commit to Mizzou, we can start paying you right now. And money in your hand today is better than money in your hand later for everyone outside of Shohei Ohtani.
And just to bring it up, you referring to Caden Green, former Oklahoma Sooner lineman, will now be part of Mizzou. And then the kid from Arkansas, Courtney Crutchfield, he's a 6'2", 180-pound wide receiver. They also got another offensive lineman, 6'5", 315. Name is Caleb Pyfrom. Let's see. And then this today as well, they got someone from Georgia. The linebacker being transferred, Darius Smith. He played with Georgia this past year and is now going to Mizzou. So like you said before, Drink, whatever he's doing, I like whatever is in his drink.
And right, exactly. I'll have what he's having. And don't sleep on the kid out of Arkansas, Brian Huff. I mean, look, with a name like Huff, I mean, goodness, he's going to do some things at Mizzou.
Yes. So great things. And then to cap everything off in the season, they're playing Ohio in the Cotton Bowl, goes down on the 29th in Arlington, Texas. They have a New Year's Six Bowl. Something we've been clamoring for a long time. And for those that may not be such a big deal because it's not the college playoff football game, but this is still big for the
it's huge. It is huge. This is a massive deal because look, if you can't get in the playoff, the next best thing is one of these New Year's Six Bowls. And I mean, granted, it is the Cotton Bowl, and it's like every year Mizzou has one of their best seasons. They somehow end up in the Cotton Bowl. I get that, but it's still pretty dope. And the fact that you're going up against Ohio State and an Ohio State team who lost their quarterback to the transfer portal, who are losing a number of guys to opting out and not playing in the game. Things are looking good for Mizzou right now. And if they can beat Ohio State, nobody's going to remember that Ohio State was, down a few guys. People are going to remember the final score. And if they see Mizzou can knock off an Ohio State in a New Year's Six Bowl, that's only going to do even better things, turn more heads for the Tigers. And things are looking really good right now for Missouri football. And I'm hoping it can stay that way.
And then going back to Coach Drink, if they did not win that game against K-State, that could have caused a lot of issues for him. Like he may have gotten banned, but it's amazing because one kick now pretty much led to him being the
Yeah.
SEC coach here.
I know. And look at him. Look at him. Look at that photo too. Tell me that's not just ultimate dad. Like, put an apron on that guy and he's going to ask you, hey, what are you having? You know, how do you want your burgers cooked, guys? You know, yeah, I got a couple of dogs on the grill. You want some? You know, like, that is ultimate dad vibes right there from Drink. And this is not a knock at Drink. I absolutely love Drinkwitz. Someone asked me the other day, they're like, it was a Mizzou fan, and they said, hey, is Drink a little cringe? And I said, he would be if he wasn't winning. But the fact that he's winning, you know, he's improved every season he's been in Columbia. And he worked freaking magic with Brady Cook from last year to this year. And I did hear that Brady Cook was dealing with maybe like an injury or something last year, which would explain a lot. But the fact that Brady Cook is like one of the leading passers in the SEC, and you know, you've got Luther Burden, shout out St. Louis. Yeah, honestly, all three of the guys are St. Louis dudes. Cody Schrader running the rock as well as he did this year, the best running back in the SEC, a guy who literally got Heisman votes. Like, it's been such a great year, and I'm so excited.
Miss Dub asked, why did some players refuse to play the Cotton Bowl? I didn't think they can do that. Well, I mean, a lot of players are, like Austin said, are going to the transfer portal.
Yeah, or they're going pro, like they're going pro, and they don't want to risk injury in the. So you've been seeing a lot more of that since like Christian McCaffrey's day at Stanford. You know, you're starting to see more guys like kind of say, I'm good. I don't need to play in the bowl game. Do I like it? No, but I've got an old way of thinking. And if these guys are going to make millions of dollars at the next level, I mean, who am I to say, oh, you need to stay and play in this game and risk injury and then risk getting drafted as high as you possibly can?
And if I'm Coach Drink, not saying he isn't going to do it or hasn't already done it, but he's very outspoken. But I would love for him to just be at a press conference and say, well, if Ohio State doesn't want to play their best players and just get that whoop, that's on them.
Well,
have Marvin Harrison, go, come on and play. And, let's go ahead and bring the whole squad in and play the game.
Yeah.
I would love Drink to do that, the whole mind game. I would just love it.
Yeah, and on the flip side, we talk about guys opting out. A lot of Mizzou players have opted in to the game because they're like, we want to finish what we've started. And that's the thing I love about Missouri is like making it to a New Year's Six Bowl is a big deal. Like you can come to Mizzou, and if you put together a season like they just did, like Brady Cook's never gonna have to buy a drink in Columbia the rest of his life. Like that's what it means, whereas if he goes to Alabama and puts together a 10-2 season, then people are saying, wow, this is a forgettable season. And that's why I don't understand. Like, I mean, I don't know, whatever Drink's doing, it's working. So I'm not going to tell him how to do his job, but I've always thought, like, to recruit Mizzou, why you wouldn't just go into a kid's home and say, look, you can go to Alabama and just be another number on the wall. If you win a national championship, you're the 18th national championship that they win. But you could come to Mizzou. Brad Smith didn't even come close. I think he won the Independence Bowl, was like his biggest accomplishment,
Right.
And he's a god in Columbia. Like he is a legend forever. Chase Daniel, same thing. Like all he did was like kind of win the Cotton Bowl, win a couple of and maybe the Alamo Bowl or something. And he's forever enshrined in Mizzou lore. Like I'm not like the bar is set lower for Mizzou, but like also like it's so much easier to clear that bar. And if you come to Missouri, you're going to be a legend for doing the same, if not even a little bit of less than you would at like in Alabama. So like, why not? Why would you not want that to be? And Mizzou can get you to the NFL. Mizzou's had no problem getting guys not only drafted, but drafted high, drafted in the first round. So come to Mizzou and you'll turn some heads here. Whereas at Alabama, you're just another 5-star recruit. Yeah, Drew Lock.
Quarterback from Seattle, Drew Lock. Exactly.
Yeah.
He showed up, so, but also what's big too is being able to bring in state recruits.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And
awesome
and showing that pride too. That the Caleb, I forget his last name, from Oklahoma. He's a Missouri kid. And so I think he sees, don't tell me he wasn't watching Mizzou this year after, Oklahoma. Oklahoma didn't have their best season this season. And you don't think he's seeing guys doing for his home state like what they're doing, and that didn't play a part in him saying, well, now I want to come home, I want to join the party. Look, kids get FOMO, fear of missing out. They want to get back into the party, and the party was in Columbia all season, and I love where it's going, and I love that the party's still going.
Exactly. So let's switch from college to the NFL. Let's talk about a team that you have his jersey right behind you, and that's Derrick Henry, your man crush, and Tennessee Titans. He kind of gave a little bit of maybe a tease that this could possibly be his last season with the Titans. Do you believe that? And do you, how you feel about that overall in regards to him and the Titans?
I don't want to believe it, but his contract is up at the end of the year. I don't know what's next. With the way that they've poorly managed him over the last 2 seasons, it's, going back to the Cardinals conversation, it's like to have a good pitcher, you need run support. With the Titans, you literally need run support with a good offensive line. And the past 2 seasons, they fielded 2 of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. Now, despite that, last year, Derrick Henry finished as the second leading rusher in the NFL with over 1,500 yards. With, I believe, statistically, it was the second or third worst offensive line in football. This year, they have an even worse offensive line, and he's still 6th in the NFL in rushing. Don't ask me how. I mean, he literally had 9 yards on Sunday. It was the worst performance I think I've ever seen by a Titans offense ever. Not Derrick's fault by any means. It was the offensive line. Like, they could not block, and it was embarrassing. And this is against a Texans team that in the last 5 meetings, he's had over 1,000 yards rushing in just 5 games. And then he comes out and puts up 9 yards against that same franchise. Like, it was surreal to watch. And does he come back? I hope so. I think a lot of Titans fans do. There are some Titans fans that are ready to move on and think Derrick deserves better. And I do think he does deserve better, but I'm hoping this offseason the Titans have $99 million coming off of the books. So they have the most money in free agency than any other team in the NFL. I'm hoping they take some of that, hopefully bolster an offensive line, maybe draft a couple of studs in the offensive, for the offensive line. I think they have the 9th overall pick, or they'll probably end up with a top 10 pick. So go draft a stud at offensive line. Maybe hopefully sign some people. I know the free agent names or the names in free agency for offensive line are not strong, but build an offensive line and then give Derrick Henry like a 1-year deal. Give him, or maybe like I would accept a 2-year deal. I don't know how other Titans fans would feel about that, but 2-year team friendly deal. Let him retire as a Tennessee Titan and give him something to where he can still perform. I don't know how the nation feels about that, how other NFL fans feel about that, but I know he can still perform, because when they do give him holes to run through, he sure as hell runs through them. And I just hope that they can give him. I hope he is back as a Titan. Do I think he is? I think there's maybe if I had to put a percentage chance, I'd say like a 30% chance he's back with the Titans. But it will be a very heartbreaking day. It will be a very dusty day for me if he does not return and if he signs elsewhere. But my goodness, he's been my favorite Titan in a long, long time. And I hope he does it, man. I hope he comes back, but I also would not fault him for leaving.
is this Will Levis's team now, or it's still, or Tannehill still got a chance to come back and reclaim his spot?
Well, so Levis hurt himself on Sunday. He got kind of like a high ankle sprain. So I don't think he's going to play this week. I think Tannehill will be playing. But Tannehill, again, like Derek, his contract is up at the end of the year. I don't think the Titans are going to re-sign him because I don't think Tannehill wants to be a backup, nor do I think he should be. I think Tannehill can start for over 10 teams in the NFL right now. And people like to clown on Tannehill, which, I mean, I get to an extent, but Ryan Tannehill is probably the second best quarterback in Titans franchise history. And statistically, that is very true. And if he could have stayed healthy and if he could have stayed with the Titans, I think he very easily could have been number one. This is a guy who quarterbacked the Titans to the third best offense in the league just a couple of years ago. This is a guy who got the Titans a number one seed just a couple of years ago. He gotten them. He literally revived this franchise after, Mariota's time was kind of dwindling down and, he was kind of sputtering there at the end. Ryan Tannehill takes over and goes on like a heater at the end of that 2019 season and leads the team all the way to the 2020 AFC Championship. So, and I think a lot of people kind of forget that, but I think Tannehill is a great guy, and I think he is a really good quarterback, especially if he's in the right system and if he has weapons around him, which he proved here in Tennessee. But then for some reason, Titans decided to trade AJ Brown and let Corey Davis walk, and they just slowly kind of dismantled this franchise. And now you're seeing the residual effects of that. They're terrible. So I don't know. I mean, I could talk about the freaking Titans all day. I do talk about the Titans all day, honestly. But I think Tannehill does deserve another shot as a starter for, obviously not like a Jets, but if Aaron Rodgers was not with the Jets, I think the Jets 1000% should take a stab on. Hell, I think the Steelers should take a flyer on Ryan Tannehill because I think he would be able to breathe new life into that offense that they've got there.
What I feel that the Steelers should take a chance in regards to the guy that you have right behind you.
Malik Willis?
No, right behind you.
Oh, Derrick Henry?
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
Right,
wait, this guy. I got a lot of guys right behind me, honestly. Well, Justin Fields, man, they would have to trade him. They would have to trade him, but the Bears are probably going to have the number one overall pick. So
right.
I would not put all of my money on Justin Fields being the Bears quarterback in 2024. I think he should be, personally. I think Fields is great, and I think if you get him a better offensive coordinator, I think the Bears will be good, and probably maybe a new coach. I hate saying that about Eberflus because Eberflus was the DC at Mizzou when I was there. So I love Eberflus, but he's just not been getting the job done here. And I think that Fields should be the Bears' answer moving forward if you can get the right coaches around him. But they very easily could trade Fields and then use that number one pick that they're getting from Carolina and go and get Caleb Williams. So, but if I'm a Bears fan, I would not want to start all over again with a new quarterback because it's getting exhausting for Bears fans. I feel bad for them, honestly.
Has to. So let's take a look real quick before I let you go at the standings.
Do we have to? Do we have to do this, Smooth? This is mean.
But here's what's crazy is that a few weeks ago you thought, oh, the Eagles are definitely the best team in the NFL. But now you're seeing what the 49ers have done. Then you're looking at what Baltimore has done. Who do you feel is the best team right now in the AFC and then in the NFC?
Best team in the NFC, I think the best team in the NFL right now is the San Francisco 49ers. I know they have a few blemishes on their record, obviously, but Brock Purdy is playing insane, and a lot of people like to, credit his success to, having all of the weapons around him that he does, and he does have a lot of weapons, but so to have like the last like few MVPs in the NFL. Like MVPs always have weapons around them. I think he is playing outstanding. I think Christian McCaffrey, honestly, let me rephrase that. I think Christian McCaffrey should be MVP. They won't give it to him because he's a running back. I think that's absurd. They didn't give it to Derrick Henry when he rushed for over 2,000 yards in a season. Instead, they gave it to Aaron Rodgers for having the fifth best season of his career. So I think it should go to Christian McCaffrey. But to answer your question, the 49ers are far and away the best team in the NFL, in my opinion. I'm excited to watch Dallas and Philadelphia the last few weeks of the year because I think, they're going to be neck and neck with winning the NFC East. In the AFC, it's the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson is he is insane. Lamar Jackson, honestly, if I don't give it to Christian McCaffrey or Brock Purdy, I think Lamar Jackson is very, very close behind. I think he is playing lights out. He's so good. And he can, there was that play he made on, what was it, Sunday night?
Oh, yes, amazing. He
Smoot,
escaped.
Smoot tried to tackle him and he missed him. And then he hits Likely down the field for 30, 40 yards. Like that was just,
amazing.
Lamar Jackson is just so good, and I think that the Ravens are without a doubt the team to beat because defensively they're good. However, their running back that just went out, I'm blanking on his name, but the speedy dude, he is them losing him for the season. That's going to be a tough pill to swallow. But I think the Ravens are a better team, and I think they're better coached than the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are very flashy, very fun to watch, very exciting. I love Mike McDaniels, but I don't think that they are. I don't know. I just don't think they have the strength and stamina to duke it out in a heavyweight battle against Baltimore. And then, of course, Kansas City. I know Kansas City is.
Oh man,
they're having a year, man. They're going through it, which is weird to say when they're literally 9-5, which is like that's a great record to have, but it's just a weird year there. I think I would not be surprised if they end up with the number 1 seed in the AFC or they get the number 2. Honestly, it's weird. Like the Chiefs have this like you remember like Cardinals Magic back in the day, like when the Cardinals would be like trailing like 6-1 against the Nationals in October. And then the Cardinals somehow come back and win the game in the final 2 innings. That's what the Kansas City Chiefs have right now. They've got this like weird magic about them. And I think that they are going to, if they don't get the 1 seed, they're going to get the 2 seed. And then the Ravens are going to lose in the playoffs. And then the road to the Super Bowl will go through Arrowhead. It's like, I don't know why any of us are expecting anything different.
You are reading my mind because my biggest issue, and I've said this on the show plenty of times about Lamar Jackson, is when it comes to the playoffs, he always comes up short. They have a number 1 seed. Matter of fact, I think it was a year that they had the number 1 seed and they faced your Titans. And the Titans beat the Ravens.
Yeah, right. Derrick Henry went off. That was when he double tapped Earl Thomas in the back, and it was that is. You're right. Like Lamar Jackson, I think he's only won 1 playoff game, if I'm not mistaken. 1 playoff game, and that was also against my Titans because I think the next year, 2 years later, he got the Titans back in the playoffs. And that was in the wild card round, so it wasn't even like a high stakes playoff game. So I don't like the Ravens, but I want to see them. I wouldn't be mad if they represented the AFC in the Super Bowl. I just don't. I'm getting Chiefs fatigue. I'm ready to move on from the Chiefs, and especially this year, it was like, oh, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl and they get literally all of the national attention because their tight end just so happens to be dating the biggest pop star in the world right now. Like, come on. Like, I don't know. I'm ready to move on from the Chiefs if we can, if I can make requests.
Here's what's crazy, not to add on to your hate for the Chiefs, but Patrick Mahomes has not played a away game in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That shows how great he's been and how that team has been since he's been their starting quarterback. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
On the other side, in the NFC, if you see on your screen, I am very surprised that the Rams are in the 7th seed. They are in the hunt.
They've been tough, man. They've put together a year. They've like they people were counting them out. They start off very rough, and they're starting to put it together. And that's just, I mean, Sean McVay is a hell of a coach, and obviously you got a guy like Matt Stafford. Like, they're going to be a tough out. You know, they're going to be in it till the end. And Puka Nacua is a lot of fun to watch. Obviously Cooper Kupp is great. Not to derail our playoff conversation, but Smoooth, before I get out of here, I did want to ask you, did you see the Rashard Mendenhall tweet this week?
I seen it. I can't recall everything right now, but please remind me, because I did see something that he said.
Rashard Mendenhall was very upset with, I guess, people giving him, basically like Monday morning quarterbacks or armchair quarterbacks, kind of getting in his mentions and trying to say they know the game better than him, yada yada yada. So he basically proposed in a tweet how they should replace the Pro Bowl with an all blacks versus all whites football game.
Who said that? Wow.
And I'm like, that sounds like fun in theory, but the all whites would get absolutely smoked, especially on defense. There's not a chance that there hasn't been a white quarterback in the league since Jason Sehorn, Smoooth. Like, and you expect the whites to cover Tyreek Hill? Are you kidding me?
In hell. And going back, the running back is Keaton Mitchell from the Ravens.
Thank you. Yes, and he has been fun. He reminds me of like a little Chris Johnson. Like, dude is speedy fast and can burn dudes on angles. But again, Keon Mitchell against white defense, not happening. Like it's not happening.
It's like, I ain't trying to say it like this, but it's like white cops trying to chase a black guy in the hood. You ain't gonna...
You're not wrong. Like, look, do I think the whites could field a decent offense? Sure. Obviously the tight end position, they're going to look real good. Running back, as long, if you got a Christian McCaffrey, quarterback, they'll be fine. But it's literally the other side of the ball. It's the defensive side of the ball. In the secondary, they will get absolutely trounced. And that makes me not want to ever see that game be played out on the field, because it would be embarrassing. It would be embarrassing for a race that is already embarrassed on a daily basis. Honestly, we can't dance. We can't, we certainly don't have any soul. We can't cook near as well. The barbecues are not near as good or as fun. I'm literally just got done talking about how Eli Drinkwitz has dad energy, and that's like the best coach in the SEC right now. Like, come on. I want to stay as far away from that football game as possible.
So, last thing, who do you have winning the whole thing between Michigan versus Alabama and Washington versus Texas? Who you got going all the way?
I mean, it's so hard to pick against Alabama, like just what they put together. And the scary thing is not that they needed it. Confidence, man. Alabama has got confidence. They've been playing ever since that game in South Florida where they almost lost. It was like 3-3 at halftime. And aside from obviously the Iron Bowl, which they almost lost, they're playing at another level. And Michigan, I just don't think has the talent that Alabama has. I think Michigan was able to. I don't want to call the Michigan schedule easy, because I hate when people do that. It's such a cop-out answer. Honestly, the SEC had a worse non-conference record than the Big Ten this year. So I'm not going to say that Michigan had a cupcake schedule. They did not, but I just don't think they'll stack up. Nick Saban, when he has time to prepare, he's proven time and time again. Nick Saban is freaking Jason Voorhees. He is Freddy Krueger. He is Michael Myers. You cannot kill him. He comes back every year. Even when you think like, when they call it like the final chapter, Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Guess what? There's like 8 more chapters after the final chapter in those movies. Like they continue to pump out movies. And that's the way Alabama has been. Just when you think they're dead, they come back and they stab you in the face. As for the other side of the bracket, I think Texas will beat Washington. I know it's not fair to Washington to put it on the Pac-12 teams before them, but I just think that I just don't trust Washington. They look very good, and I think Michael Penix Jr. is really good quarterback, but I don't trust them. And I think Texas is, they've got Texas athletes, man. Like they're a really good team. Their wide receivers are massive, and they've got size. So I think it's going to be Texas Alabama, a rematch of that game we saw in Tuscaloosa, and I think Alabama takes it.
And going back to Michigan real quick, and when he's talking about the talent and everything and how their season has been with their schedule or lack of strength of scheduling, it's bad when you find out Alabama is playing you and
one spot, plays Michigan, number 5, heartbroken. Who's number 4?
Now it ain't right when
yeah, that's a tough. That's.
I gotta play Alabama.
It's a tough look, but you know what? I hate Michigan. I'm not a fan, and I certainly hate them after their Houston Astros seasons that they just had, with the Connor Stallions drama and stealing signs and all of that. I don't think I think that was a bad look, that video, obviously, but I do think it's not as bad as everyone's making out, because I think honestly, every single one of us sitting at home had that same reaction. It was more oh wow, they left out an undefeated Florida State team for Alabama, which to me is absurd. I could go on for days about why I think it's insane that they left out a Power 5 conference that was undefeated just because their quarterback was out. Like, when literally time and time again, including in the college football playoff, we saw firsthand that having a backup quarterback does not make or break a season. Cardale Jones literally won the college football playoff with Ohio State as not just a backup, but a third string. So was Florida State a different team, with their backups? Sure, but their defense was still hella good. And I think they deserved the right to at least try without their quarterback. And what precedent are you setting for teams in the future where you're saying like, oh, because your quarterback was injured? So if they said that their quarterback was going to return in a couple of weeks rather than saying he was out for the season, then the committee would have put Florida State in. Like, so now you're saying just lie about the injuries you get on your team, especially if they're late in the season. Like, I just think I don't know. I think it's a little messed up, and I think Florida State deserved to be in the playoff. And again, here I am defending a team that I absolutely hate. I don't like Florida State. I don't like Michigan. And here I am defending both of them, but I think it's just ridiculous, and I think it's absurd. And I've hated since day one of the playoff the fact that they have a committee. You don't need a group of old people in a conference ballroom at a hotel picking who is the best team in football. Look, we all so often we say we need more technology in the game with instant replay, with all of that. Why would we not add technology into the point? Bring in a BCS computer and let them decide the top 4, because they're not going to show any bias. You mean to tell me that Alabama didn't get into the playoff because Alabama is an SEC team? The playoff has never not had an SEC team, and the SEC is partly owned by ESPN, thus the SEC network, and the college football playoff is also partly owned by ESPN, given the TV contracts. So you don't mean to tell me that there was just maybe a little something under the table, and maybe there wasn't any under the table, but you open that door by having humans basically pick out like who the best teams are, because anyone can be bought, anyone can be extremely biased. That's just human nature. Computer nature is not that way. If you ask chat gpt for an answer, they're going to give you an answer. They're not going to tell you like what they think or their opinion or their bias. Like, it's going to be a clear-cut answer. But if you ask a human their answer, they're going to give you their biased opinion. And I just think it's ridiculous. And that's my spiel on the college football playoff.
And there we go, man. And man, awesome to have you on the show. I know it may have gone a little bit longer, but you talk about sports, man. I
get lost in conversation with you, Smooth. I that's what happens when I come on a Platform Sports Talk show, man. I appreciate you having me. Seriously, I look forward to these get-togethers. Next time we'll get the whole crew out. I know Stanton. We're missing Stanton tonight, which he tweeted at me earlier today when I said I was coming on, and he said I'm not going to be there, and I was like, oh, cool. What a convenient excuse around the holidays. But we'll get him on next time and the whole crew.
Most definitely, man. And you have a great rest of your holiday season, and look forward to hopefully seeing you while you are in the loop.
Hell yeah, man. Oh yeah. The 314. Get ready. I'm coming. All right. Cook up some toasted wraps for me. I'm on my way.
There we go, man. Well, you have a great one, man, and safe travels out there.
Smooth, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, and I respect the hell out of all the work that you do, man. I think you do great stuff, and I think you're slowly building the best sports talk in St. Louis, man. So keep on the grind, keep on the hustle. I love you, man.
Hey, I appreciate it. Love you back, man. You have a good one. All right, that was Austin Huff, man. An amazing conversation talking about Mizzou, talking about the Tennessee Titans, the Chicago Cubs, and NFL talk, college football, man. We doing it all. I told y'all, hey, we cover it all. We got y'all. So y'all love what y'all been seeing. Get the likes going, get them shares going, especially on YouTube. Subscribe and click on that bell, because anytime we go live, you will be notified. The last thing that I want to go over before the end of the show, that is Ja Morant. He played his first game last night. He was suspended for the first 25 games of the season due to, of course, what he did last year. He had guns in his videos and photos, and it was just pretty much a bad look on him and him representing the NBA. But he came back last night, and he played like he never left. And who would have scripted a better finish from you being gone for 25 games? Your team is under 500, because last year they were like a top 3 seed in the West. But now, because he wasn't playing, they're one of the worst teams in the NBA at this time. And he wasn't able to be around them in the facility or anything all season long until yesterday. But he showed up. They faced the New Orleans Pelicans, and the game was on the line, and this
timeouts left. Into the backcourt it goes. Morant's going to get ahead of steam with a chance to win it in his return. Here goes Morant. He spins. Morant scores, and the timer expires. Count the basket.
What an amazing finish. Ja Morant with the game winner, and he came back and let everyone know he is that dog. Prior to what happened off the court, I'm a huge fan of Ja Morant. Stars like himself, man, they have that in them. They have that dog. They have that will. They have that, you know what, ain't no one on this court better than me mentality, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I just hope that he learns his lesson from what he's done off the court. I hope his father becomes more of a father figure than a best friend to John Morant, because that's what he needs. And yes, Miss Dub, let's hope he has learned his lesson. Because if he does, you see it right there. He is one of the best players, top 10, maybe top 5, top 6 players in the game when he's out there on the court just doing the thing that he loves to do, the passion that he has for the game. Be smart off the court, do your thing on the court, and great things will happen. And don't be surprised if by May you see the Grizzlies making a special run going to the playoffs. You never know. It's still early in the game, and you just never know. But I really do hope that he gets his act right and he can stay on the floor. Also, speaking of which, we all know about Draymond Green from his incidents or last 2 incidents over the last month or so. He is away from the team for the next 3 weeks, and they say he's going through counseling. Shaquille O'Neal said today or last night that he feels that Draymond is perfectly fine. He doesn't need counseling. That's just who he is. That's the kind of guy he is. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes with Draymond, but I do know the reason why I called him the heart and soul of the Golden State Warriors is because all the intangibles he brings to that team. Yes, Steph Curry is the best player on that team, bar none. But I feel that if Draymond was not on that team, they wouldn't have won as many rings as they won, because he was their glue. He was that guy that faced the next team, other team's best player, or he was that dog in the paint getting those rebounds, and he would be the point guard at times for the team. And you saw what happened when he got suspended in the NBA Finals against the Cavaliers, when the Cavaliers won Game 7. Draymond wasn't himself. He wasn't in the series the whole time, and he was actually out a game when they were up 3-2 against the Cavaliers, and he had to miss a game. So it's crucial for Draymond to do what it takes to be on that court, and that's when Golden State can do better. Not saying they're gonna automatically win the whole thing, because their whole team is aging. Bottom line, you look at Steph, look at Clay, look at Draymond. They've been around the block for a minute, and until some of the younger players start blossoming to, more to bigger roles and doing their thing, because we thought Jordan Poole would be that guy, but now he's in DC. But having Draymond on that court is a game changer for Golden State Warriors. So whatever he's going through, I hope that he can get it right and he can still be himself, be aggressive, but be smart as well. Play mind games with opponents, but not be physical with them, which you're going to be ejected from the game. Or stop arguing every call again, on a ref, and when you get a technical foul, and now you're out the game. Be smart with it. You know what I'm saying? So let's just hope for some great basketball for the rest of the season. I hope that you all have enjoyed the Platform Sports Talk Show. Once again, shouts out to Baby Girl for being on the show, opening up the show like a natural. Stay tuned for big things for her. For everyone who watched for the first time on Instagram, thank y'all very much. Look forward to many, many, many more shows from the Platform Sports Talk Show on that Insta. I see Michelle tuned in for a little minute. The wifey tuned in earlier. My boy Dwayne Polk from Vashon High School was tuning in. So I see y'all on Insta. We everywhere, y'all. Once again, we are everywhere. The Platform Sports Talk Show. Miss Dub, yes, she's the one for job. And I say, hey, just say this, say that when you start the show, then just do your thing. And she is coming along quite nicely, and looking forward to what God has in store for Baby Girl. Shout out to the wifey for being an incredible mother to Baby Girl as well. And I hope that each and every one of y'all have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. And stay tuned to the Super Show, which goes down next week, the Super Show Part 2. Once again, tell everyone about the Platform Sports Talk Show. Give us a follow all on social media. Just put in the Platform Sports Talk Show. You'll see our logo, and you'll be good to go. Shouts out to Hot 365 Radio as well. And this is your boy Smooth. It's the Platform Sports Talk Show. Y'all have a great night And once again, holiday season. Peace.